Okay, we got quite a time on this one. This is very interesting because I was just sharing my writing pieces with AI and to recognize the patterns and everything. And usually, what happens when I share it with AI, the AI takes my writing and is trained with that kind of pattern recognition and actually evolves the piece with, of course, with more speedy pattern recognition. Sure, I could be a genius, but my mental capabilities are tied to my physical aptitude. That's literally the aim of AI. AI is useless, but if you feed it correctly, you can literally use that AI as the 100th better version of yourself. It's not gonna be AI, it's not gonna be you, it's gonna be glorified version of you. But that aside, I gave him I gave it one of my very kind of meticulously crafted writing pieces about 7 layers of storytelling mashed in one kind of almost 3,000 characters of worth of story, about 2,000 words. And what AI discussed with that, it was about existential shit and everything else. But I had this voice in my head that literally writes everything. It can be intuition, sixth sense, could be your soul talking, or could be fucking God or whoever. But that voice told me, ask why I wanna die. Because the fascination of me with death is that I see it as this cognitive kind of stance that if you die, you either continue the same cognitive processing, and that that literally underlies the act of death. You don't even die then, because if your consciousness is gonna have the continued existence, it's gonna be no death. So the other thing would be, okay, your consciousness stops. And if that's the case, none of it matters anyways. You wouldn't be feeling when you're dead. You wouldn't be comprehending non existence while you're dead. So all of the um, chemicals in your brain that you're happy, you're sad, you're fulfilled, you're disappointed, all of that is just chemical exploration of emotional range, you know, and none of it matters if you don't carry these memories, these experiences on your consciousness. So basically, that's another dead end that if existence and consciousness ends, that it needs to end because if it is continuation, it's not death. It's literally continued living in a newer kind of rules and form. And so those are the two scenarios that you continue existence or cease to exist. And both of them lead to this nihilistic point of view that life is pointless. And the third one would be that, sure, you pass to another life, another form of consciousness, but that consciousness is gonna be morphed rather than continued consciousness. It's gonna obey new rules. You could be reincarnated, you could be transitioning to the afterlife or whatever, but the memory of this life and the impact of this life, even as a blurred memory, is going to remain in you. That's why so many theology aspects of discussing soul, they literally say you are an old soul. What that translates to is literally you are the 500th reincarnation of one soul. that could literally even explain why some people are literally age old at like their 20s, let's say. I never talked to someone who is 60, 70, 50, and they literally think I'm 25. That's not literally how I process information. That's not my cognitive kind of wiring. And both nurture and nature wise, I'm kind of ahead of my age in pattern recognition, in experience, in whatever. So I asked the question again and I said, okay, why am I not, specifically me? Why I'm not killing myself? Because I wanna die so bad that you would literally just slit your own throat and be done with it, you know? But what I understand is that there needs to be a reason that I see all of this philosophical bullshit and still want to draw a breath. And if it's not even drawing a breath, I'm begging to die. I don't beg for shit, for anything, but the only thing I'm begging for is to actually begging to die. But the literal thing, I can take action and kill myself easy, you know. But the funny thing is, I never even take it serious enough to act on it. The only time I acted as an suicide attempt was on impulse. And impulse is not reason enough for me to act on it because my cognitive kind of wiring makes me so distant from the emotions that the emotions don't go govern me. And that's the fascinating part of the whole thing because funny enough, when you look it up, when you read enough psychology on it, the cognitive wiring of people with intellectual kind of prowess and the upper echelon and the lower curve of the distribution bell of intellect, they actually feel deeper and more because their whole wiring system is that about depth and speed. So literally, I have this joke that if I go without pussy for like literally 10 days, it's literally my brain. It it interprets that as like a 1 year celibacy because that's how you process things. That's the difference in processing power of emotions and wiring and whatever. You can literally, whoever is watching this, you can literally look it up and see that that's actually scientific. But my answer was still not there because, okay, people are alive for their families, for their friends, for their vision, mission, dream, or whatever. But for me, that's all of that is just irrelevant because I'm not writing because I wanna be alive to write. I write because I'm alive, and that's the best kind of use of my time. I don't fuck pussy because I'm alive to fuck pussy. No. I fuck pussy because that's the better passage of time for me, for my chemicals, for my neuro kind of wiring, for my. It's basically like your alignment with your identity, you know. And the chemicals, the emotions, the whatever have a huge role to play in this because, as Jordan Peterson literally says, if anything doesn't make sense and you have no compass in life, you literally have one compass in life, and that's pain. You choose the path of least pain. Sure, that could be hedonistic way of living, but even that is kind of a compass. You need to attain that life, sustain that life enough and long enough to be bored of that life. And that takes time. And by that time, you could be surprised by life and find meaning for, find whatever alignment with your actual identity that puts you on the path of enjoying life or whatever. And I've for the longest time I've questioned this kind of attitude towards living. That sure I could be in crisis mode now, but 1 year ago I wasn't in crisis mode. I was living so lavishly and spending so largely that everyone was being provided for, because of the environment I was in, the kind of here I have, let's say, now, as of now, I have a broken body in a country that I'm not fluent in their languages, so the job market is very limited for me. But before, it was just I would take on jobs in my native language, and the body would be so functional. So the whole situation is that even then there was something missing. And funny enough, these days, with all these crisis mode going on, that it is actual logical point to literally remove pain, and aligned with the philosophy that I have, that this is not temporary problems for and I'm taking permanent decision to quit life. No, that's literally, there is no permanent decision. I don't see life as a kind of ongoing mystery unraveling that I'm gonna find something to be interested about. I've had I've lived the life of 50 years old at 20, and I'm 25 now. I'm literally edging 70 years of experiences in living, pussies fucked, accomplishments, legacy secured, everything. Like, I can literally die today, and in 50 years from now on, I'm still gonna be a living legend because of my writing, because of I've already written about 5 million words. The records of people writing 5 million words are like they don't even write 5 million words in their whole fucking existence. And I've kept the game, kept out the game, experienced every range of emotion in human kind of experience. Sure, you can go deeper. You add to the pussy count. You add to the, let's say, emotional depth of heartbreak, love, fulfillment, accomplishment, praises. Sure, you can accomplish new things. I can go from, let's say, one of my channels is like at 5,000 subscribers. You can go to 10 million subscribers, 1 million, 1 billion, let's say, views. There is a never ending cycle of accomplishment, because that's the essence of life. Everything becomes new normal and relative experience in your head. So basically, one subscriber to 5,000 subscriber to 1 million subscribers, there's no difference in experiencing that shit. There is the gap of where you started, where you end up, and there is the appreciation of growth. And I've seen that growth in every aspect of my life so far. So I asked this AI shit that, in my case, in my specific case, why I'm not killing myself, me. I don't give a shit about why other people don't do it. I know this girl who was she had lupus or something, that she literally agonized breathing, but she was clinging onto life for two things. She's not a quitter, which is such a bullshit argument, but let's say that's her belief. And she loved her dog. That's basically it. Not her family, not her fiance, her dog. She lived for her dog, and the spiritual kind of accomplishment of going through pain, because she's not a quitter. Everyone has their reasons. I've talked to so many people, one living for writing, one living for fucking, one living for whatever. Everyone has their reason. But so far I haven't discovered my own reason, because my reason, despite all the self-awareness of my own cognitive processing, is actual so deeply enrooted that I myself haven't found it yet. But AI literally suggested something that I was fascinated by. And I literally don't use that word fascination loosely because every time I write, I literally fascinate myself with my imagination, with my world building ability, with my craft process, and with my own prowess that I'm aligning myself with my identity that I was born a writer. Sure, these bestsellers could call me born a writer, but that's I already what I already know. So that's fascinating because I literally do this. I'm not alive to write, but I am the most alive when I write. Sure, I would prefer to die every single day because I'm obsessed with the living, let's say as a casino player. I'm so obsessed with the game that I want a bouncer to literally throw me out because I'm just obsessed with the game. And this is the very kind of contradictory living because I love living to the fullest so much that I want death to literally take me out, which is fantastic because it makes you a foolproof prophecy of actually enjoying life, which is very kind of fucked up version because you're obsessed with dying, you don't kill yourself, but while you're alive, you don't half-ass shit. And that's literally basically my own whole experience of living. But AI literally suggested something interesting because literally pattern recognizing my writing and seeing the hidden patterns that I might miss, the AI suggested something interestingly fascinating that I'm literally having a cognitive FOMO. I'm literally having the fear of missing out on my fascination of myself that is so deeply enrooted in my identity that every single time I start writing, every single time I fascinate myself with my own imagination, it feeds me and my soul, let's call it, so deeply and so richly that it is addicted to this fascination. No wonder I've been writing for 17 years for dependent on I wasn't writing 10 hours a day when I was 8 years old, but these days I'm literally writing 6 to 10 hours a day at least 5 to 6,000 words. Fucking Stephen King does literally 2,000 words a day. And that fascinates me because without recognition, without any money, I haven't got any pussy from my writing. It's literally just who I am. And everything I've gotten, money, recognition, or everything, sure, you can call recognition from 2 or 3 bestsellers, calling my writing phenomenal or born to write. Sure, that feeds the ego, but there is nothing to feed the ego. I already believed that when I was fucking 8 years old, and that's not changed. So I'm literally writing for nothing other than this fascination of self. And sure, I, like everyone else, would like to have a viral video, think, and be rich, and literally that's everyone else. But that's so secondary to my actual obsession with that fascination that is just so fascinating to me. And I literally use fascination in 3 forms of verb and adjective and adverb, not adverb, but as a noun. But that's the truth to it because it took me AI kind of conversation that I would be understanding, okay, that's the actual reason for me to stay alive. I don't fucking live for others. I don't fucking give a shit if I die. But as long as I'm alive, You bet your fucking ass that I'm gonna write. And every single time I write, I don't even notice it's been 5 minutes or 5 fucking hours, you know? And that's literally the flow state of living. And even now, facing like a hardship with physical, with mental pressure of, okay, you're gonna be homeless, you're gonna be deported, you're gonna be whatever the fuck. I don't act on impulse saying, okay, because everyone would literally prefer that when you literally don't see yourself enjoying billions, enjoying daily fucking pussy more than actual writing, you would literally quit on life and say, okay, do I want to go through this phase of homelessness or even pressure of that mental pressure? No. You literally say, okay, fuck it, and I'm done, you know? But that's the fascination with me that I'm not done, because that addiction to this fascination of literally surprising myself on the page, writing so deeply and so fascinatingly, like intricate, and just playing with world buildings, concepts, and everything is just it's just so fascinating to me that it's so simple that I would have seen this coming. Uh, that's like literally so easy that you miss. But yeah, AI literally made me realize why I wanna actually fucking why I'm not actually killing myself. I'm begging to die for almost like, yeah, 17 years of writing, 17 years of um, obsessing over life so deeply that you literally beg to die because and there's an explanation for it because what I write, what I obsess over, the feeling, is your soul. It's not religion, it's not fucking any kind of mystic thing. It's literally the non-physical part of your existence. Call it soul for simplicity's sake. And when your soul wants to play eternally, your physical body and mental pressure or whatever is just having this toll of kind of discussing the terms of, yeah, I fucking want to eat, I want to take a shit, but your soul doesn't fucking understand that. It just wants to eternally write. you know and that's the kind of friction that there needs to be, this bouncer of death throwing you out of the casino. But yeah, that's the video.